Okay, so let's talk diffusing. Should you do it? Should you not do it? This is what I get asked a lot from my clients. So basically, curly hair. It tends to be typically drier than straight hair, and that's just simply because our oils do not go all the way down our hair strands because our hair curls. So we are always told to be careful with heat, stay away from it, things like that. And yes, you want to be careful with heat. I always typically tell people, don't straighten your hair, you know, if you have curly hair, or try not to. If you do it, maybe do it once or twice a year. It's better to keep the hair, you know, less, like, disturb the curl the least amount as possible, you know. That's what's going to keep your hair healthy. As far as diffusing goes, I would say, I think it really depends on your hair. So I have some clients that'll come to me, let's say they're coming from, I don't know, keratin hair and they're transitioning, or maybe their hair is very dry. You know, summertime can do that. You come from summer, you come back, your hair is very dry. Maybe put the hot tools down for a while, and that's including diffusing the hair. I will say give your hair a little bit of break, let it heal, let it get, you know, get some moisture in there, so that way, you know, the dryer is not going to dry it out more. When you get to that point of, you know, it being hydrated, then you can return to using your diffuser. I would say also maybe, well, and this also depends too, because I mean, let's face it, curly girls, we're not exactly washing our hair daily, and this is next day hair, so it's a little flat today, but so I diffuse my hair probably 2 to 3 times a week. That's how often I wash my hair. And then the other days I'm just kind of letting it go. And then honestly, there's some days on the weekend, I mean, I'll wash and just let it be, and I just don't care. Oh well, you know, I'm not going to diffuse my hair all the time, but if I do, it's typically 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, so as far as blow dryers go, because this is a big question I always get asked, what blow dryer should I use? Now, I think a lot of times we kind of think, oh, a blow dryer is a blow dryer. Wrong. It is not. They're all made very differently, and they're made specifically for certain things. So the most popular blow dryers to me are the Ion, the Tourmaline, the ceramic, and then the Dyson. And the reason why I put the Dyson in its own category is because it has its own technology. So I will explain that later. Let's start off with the Ion. Okay, so we pretty much know what ionic, you know, we see that often, you know, oh, it's ionic, we must use it, you know. We don't know why we're using it, but we know we have to use it because it's ionic, and our hairdresser says, hey, get something that says ionic on it. Or so basically it just gives off a negative ions. So the negative ions, what they do is they shrink the water molecules to smaller particles in our hair. What that does is it's going to dry the hair faster, which is a good thing. As you know, curly girls, you know, we have a lot of times leave-in conditioners in our hair. We're using products with a lot of humectants or, you know, moisturizers, and so our hair tends to take a long time to dry. So I would say definitely an ionic dryer would be great to get it dry faster. What's also great about the Ion dryer though is that it does minimize frizz, which is another enemy of the curly girl. So what you want to do is, you know, you can find a really good ionic dryer. Some of the ones that I personally think are good are the Diva Curl ionic dryer, and it goes for about $160. You can get it at Ulta, or you can buy it on the Diva Curl website. It is a really good dryer. The hand diffuser, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but that's just me. Some people I think it works great for. Most people they find that they like the bowl diffuser better. I tend to like the bowl better. I get a little more volume, a little more lift. It also gives me a little more curl. So I would say the Diva, the hand is really good for getting inside the, you know, in the hair to really get the roots dry and get all, you know, and for shorter hair I find it does great for, you know, girls with really short curls, or you know, girls with natural, you know, natural curl. It really does help that, but I wouldn't get it for like longer, let's say natural curls, meaning 4C, 4B, 4A, like those curls I think the hand does pretty good with. I do like that it has the 360 airflow, that's kind of cool, but I just wish the design was a little less awkward. For me, I just find it a little kind of awkward to work with. I tried it on clients before, I didn't really care for it. I don't use it often, and I'll use it every now and then, but not often. So I would say yes to, but the Diva dryer itself is really great. It's also 1600 watts, which is something you also want to look for. I say anywhere between 1600 to about 1800 watts is about where you want to be with your dryer. Anything beyond 1800 I think is going to be a little too hot. It like packs a little more power, and you don't want that. You know, you want to kind of keep it moderate, you know, so where it gets hot enough to dry the hair but not overheating, and also you don't want the airflow to like blow your hair everywhere, because that's totally defeating the purpose. The point of diffusing is to get root lift, you know, volume, curl definition, frizz free. We don't want the frizz, so that's the point. So stay away from anything beyond 1800, well 1875 let's say, because most dryers are about anywhere from 1600 to 1875. Other ionic dryer I like is the Conair Infinity Pro. So that is another good dryer. However, the price range is, I would say for most people, probably in a better range. It is $34.99, and you can get that at Ulta. It is a really good dryer, has really good reviews, heard good things about it. I've never personally tried it, but I know people who have, and they've told me it's a really good dryer, so I would recommend that one as well. I do like the price. Price is right, you know, so I would say not bad. So if you have fine hair, probably not the ion, so you do want to stay away from that. Which is why the whole point of this video is to say, hey, not all dryers are made equal. You do have to be careful with what you use in your hair as well. So they may have different technologies for different purposes, but definitely just anything with the ion, like as far as the dryers go, I wouldn't use on fine hair. And I can definitely attest to that, because I've definitely used ionic dryers in my hair and I didn't like the result with it, versus if I used a ceramic dryer or the Dyson, so, which I'll get into that too. The ceramic dryers are really good. So they're made with the ceramic material that's usually coated on the inside of the dryer. Now what's really cool about the ceramic is a lot of times it will start out really hot, but it has a way to regulate with your room temperature. So as the dryer is blowing, it will kind of regulate so it doesn't overheat, so therefore it will not overheat the hair. So this dryer is really good for anybody. Any type of texture, you can definitely use it. They're really good dryers. My favorite is the Chi Light. I really highly recommend this dryer. I've used that one for about 2 years on a lot of my clients, and I've absolutely loved this dryer. They've all raved about their hair with it. I've told a few people to buy it. They loved it. Definitely one of my favorites. So I use that for anybody. The Brilliance New York is $130 price tag. You can get that one online on their website, and it is 1600 watts, so it's comparable to the Diva dryer. My only problem with that one is I feel that even though it's a 1600 watt, it's same as a Diva, I do find the airflow blows a little bit more. So I feel like if you get a lot of flyaways, probably not the best dryer. I would say if you get a lot of flyaways, the Chi Light is better. But if you don't, then the Brilliance New York will work just fine for you. And the Brilliance New York, if you do blow dry your hair, that thing gets really hot, so you want to keep it on the lower heat when you're diffusing. But if you blow dry one day and you want to, you know, if you do want to wear it straight, it will definitely get the hair straight. So. And now the next type of dryers are tourmaline dryers. So these dryers tend to work like ionic. They just use a semi-precious crystal, which is a tourmaline crystal, and they usually coat it on the inside of the dryer, kind of like the ceramic. And it works the same like iron, so again, I wouldn't use it for fine hair. And a lot of times you'll see tourmaline and ion together. Typically, they'll do that. So, because it pretty much does the same thing. It also helps the oil travel down the hair shaft. So if you have oily hair, it can leave your hair shiny because it will kind of help the oil travel down the hair shaft. So it will coat it, makes it look shiny, helps with the frizz in that sense. If you have dry hair, I think, well, that's why they say if you have fine hair, you know, the fine hair tends to dry a little too quickly, and that's why it can over dry. So you have to be careful with tourmaline and ion. So a tourmaline dryer that I would recommend is Hot Tools, and that one is $59.99, and you can get that at Ulta. So that is, like I said, tourmaline. Pretty much the same as ion though. Those two are about right there. So Dyson, okay, so Dyson, we all know the price tag is really high. So obviously it goes for $399. I will say this much. It is a really good company, so you do get a good warranty with it, and it dries the hair. It really dries the hair fast, and I don't get a lot of frizz from it. I love how my hair looks when I'm done with it. I dry all my clients' hair with it. I use it on any type of hair. I don't find that it overheats. I don't find that it frizzes the hair. I can pretty much use it on anybody, so I would say that's pretty good. So I actually have it here, my little Dyson. I love it. And it's really cool because it comes with a diffuser attachment, which is what I like, because I know it's always hard when you go buy a dryer, then you have to buy the diffuser attachment, and it's like, it's really hard to find. So kind of just clip it on, take it off. It's magnetic, so that's kind of cool. I like that. And then the Dyson though does get really hot. You do want to keep it on the lower heat and the lower setting, the airflow, because this thing can blow. It's like, so I would say yes, lower heat, lower setting. Now this one uses a different technology because this one has the way it's designed, it creates a steady airflow rather than just blowing out. So which most dryers, you know, they just kind of, the air is just coming out, where this does too, but it just creates a more steady airflow. So it's not really like, you know, blowing the hair around too much. So that's how it minimizes the frizz. So it does use a little bit, like I said, different technology. So that's why it's in a category all its own. It is a really good dryer. I know it is expensive, but it's worth it. Put it on your Christmas list. I'm just saying, it's worth getting. And it will last, definitely. It will definitely last. Everyone I know who has it has definitely raved about it. And it also comes with a nozzle if you want to blow dry your hair straight as well. I never do that, but I know some of my clients do, so I tell them it's fine, just, you know, once or twice a year, don't go crazy. You don't want to dry out your beautiful curls. That is the differences between the different types of dryers, and comment down below which one you use, which one you like, why you like it. I would love to hear what you guys got to say. All right, bye.